Hi, my name is Nella and thank you for joining me in the Diet Burble kitchen today. In today's video I'm going to show you how to make my no-stir chicken and mushroom risotto. So in front of me you can see my ingredients. I've got some chicken, mushrooms, chopped onion, risotto rice, a very small amount of parmesan which I'll cover later, salt and pepper, my chicken stock which is made from a low sodium chicken stock cube. I've got some oil. I've got some reduced fat sour cream. I've also got a massive bag of spinach. So let's get cooking. Okay, so the first things to go into the pan are the oil and the onions. Now the trick with the onions is just to soften them. You don't want to colour them. So this is just going to take a couple of minutes. You just want to move it around the pan. It's only going to take a couple of minutes. But ideally you want your heat at a low or a medium setting. Right, so about a minute into the cooking time, and now I've added my mushrooms and also a sprinkle of salt. If you're not careful with mushrooms, the mushrooms are going to soak up all of the oil and then you're going to end up needing to add more oil. But if you add a sprinkling of salt, this is going to help the natural juices release, so you're not going to need any more oil and you're going to keep this dish nice and lean. So this is going to take a couple of minutes to soften, the juices are going to come out, and then we can move on to the next step. Okay, so a couple of minutes have passed, and as you can see that the mushrooms are looking a little bit sweaty, so the salt is drawing out the mushrooms' natural juices. So at this stage we can add our rice. Okay, so the rice has now gone in, and I've given everything a good stir, and we're just waiting for the rice to take on some of the liquids and the oil, and it goes a little bit translucent. It only takes about a minute or so, it doesn't take very long at all. Okay, so the rice has now been softening for a couple of minutes, so I'm going to add my stock. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring this to the boil. It's not going to take very long. I'm going to pop a lid on top. And the next time you'll see this is going to come to the boil. Right, so my pan is now coming to the boil, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my parmesan. Now I know that parmesan isn't on the pick and mix list, but it's a flavour that I like to add to risotto. It really is entirely up to you whether you add it. It's not compulsory, I can't stress that enough. This is the amount I'm going to add. We are talking about 2 grams a person. It just really boosts the flavour, so it's entirely up to you whether you add it, but I am going to add it. All that's going to happen with the parmesan is going to melt in your liquid, and it's going to flavour your dish, and it's going to taste like a really normal restaurant quality creamy risotto. Okay, so now at this point we're going to add in our chicken. Now I haven't cooked off my chicken, as you can see, and the reason for that is it's going to poach in the chicken stock, and it's going to stay lovely and moist. And it's going to be a little bit different actually. It's something that I've been doing for quite a while. So this is about as much as I'm going to stir it for the time being. This really is a no stir risotto. I know with a traditional risotto you can stand there for minutes and minutes and minutes adding your stock and stirring, but with this one this is really all you need to do. So I'm just going to pop a lid on, and we're going to come back to it in about 5 minutes. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes since we added the chicken, so we're just going to give this a quick check. Okay, so the chicken is starting to poach in the chicken stock, which is great, and from the looks of it, the rice is cooking nicely as well. I think we're going to give this another 10 minutes, and we're going to let the liquor reduce, and then we'll be back to checking it. So I think another 10 minutes. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes since we last checked on the risotto. And as you can see, the liquid is almost evaporated. I've just checked the rice and that's almost cooked, so we're pretty much good to go to the next stage. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stir through my sour cream, and then I'm going to be back to you. Okay, so I've just stirred through my sour cream, and that's just going to change the texture slightly. It's just going to make it a little bit more creamy. It's obviously on plan, so that's really great. So I think all I've got to do now is I'm just going to add some spinach. We're going to wilt that, and then the dish is going to be ready. So next time you're going to see this is going to have the spinach in it. Okay, so I've just put my spinach into the pan. All I've done is I've just put it on top. I've not done anything to it. I've not cooked it. It's just gone in raw, straight out the bag. Thankfully, it's one of those bags we don't have to wash it. It's not chopped. We've just put it in and we're going to let the steam from the risotto do the work for us. So this is going to take maybe a minute or so to wilt. So we'll be back in a moment. Okay, so a couple of minutes have passed since we put the spinach in. I'll just take the lid off the pan. As you can see, the volume of the spinach has decreased. So we're just going to start to stir this into the risotto. So there really is absolutely nothing to wilting spinach in a recipe. You quite literally can just bung it on top and let your dish do the work for you. So as you can see, this really is a no stir recipe. Okay, so my risotto is now ready. I don't know if you can see, but we don't have any more liquid in the pan. We haven't had to use any more liquid, so we just used what was in the chicken stock. We didn't have to add any extra oil, and we now have a lovely creamy risotto. Okay, our risotto is now ready to eat. It's all plated up and ready to go. I've just checked the seasoning, and I don't need to add any more salt or pepper to it, so I'm really happy with the dish. So that was my no-stir chicken and mushroom risotto. I hope you'll give it a try. Thank you for watching.